What's up everyone? In today's video, let's talk about an absolutely incredible question that we got from the comments section down below. So if you want me to answer your question, please leave it in the comments because I go through pretty much absolutely every single one of them and I like to answer them. Let's go through this question together. Hi Chris, I really love your content. It's helped me with ending a toxic relationship. I can absolutely relate to your videos. Can you please make a video on the following subject if you feel the same way? After ending a relationship with a passive-aggressive narcissist, I keep having these feelings that I will never like someone as much again. Like nobody will ever compare, which is crazy because the relationship was full of hurt and anxiety. I'm guessing it's the cocktail of brain chemicals released with the intensity of the relationship. I'm just stuck in that feeling, like no other relationship will compare, and consider going back even though I know the extent of the pain I will go through. After I read your question, I have to honestly say I could not answer it immediately. That's why it's taken me like 4 or 5 days to answer this question, because I 100% fully relate to what you said. It's something that I had been struggling with in my mind for many days at a time, and that I've struggled with really kind of for months. Essentially what I realized as I spent my 4 or 5 days really thinking about this question, which was awesome because I needed to think about it, I came up with this realization in a way. And I would say in a way it felt like it came to me when I was just thinking about how to answer this question, and it's almost like it appeared in my head. And what I feel like appeared in my head was that when you love someone, you're the one that feels it inside of your body. And nobody else is feeling that. So when you love this other person, you're the one that is feeling the love. When I loved my ex-girlfriend, I am the one that felt inside of my body that love that I had for her. And I was the one experiencing this incredible experience, and she was not experiencing that. So then I thought to myself, why is it so much that I loved this person? And I thought about it as much in a logical sense as I could. And I thought to myself, and I feel like I kind of realized that the reason that you love someone is because they fit your criteria for loving someone. Think about the fact that people have a type, right? How many times have you heard that this person has a type and that everybody has a certain type of person that they're attracted to, and that you can see maybe in the pattern of the people they talk to that they have a certain type, and you also have a certain type. And essentially what this means is that when you meet someone, you're constantly qualifying them to see if they're going to be, for example, a good fit for your life. If you want to put it, some people, a type is that they have to have the same religion as you or the same spiritual beliefs, and that maybe they, like the same kind of activities that you do, because there's a certain amount of compatibility that you're trying to assess when you're attracted to someone. See, when you are initially attracted to someone, that brings out the energy inside of you to communicate with them, and then you have to assess the compatibility portion of whether or not you are going to allow yourself to fully invest inside of them, and and feel this emotions that you have for them. And when you're with a narcissist and they are love bombing you, they're essentially shape shifting to you, and they're reading your compatibility cues. So every time that you have a certain compatibility that is a criteria that you're filtering through, they are doing their best to meet that criteria. And as they seem to meet this criteria, you are allowing yourself every single time to fall more and more in love with them, and allow yourself to feel these feelings for this other person. As you feel these feelings for this other person and they get more intense, then as time goes on, the more negative and toxic stuff comes out, and you're left in this terrible relationship that at first felt really compatible, and then you realize it's absolutely not. So then you're just in this mess, and your brain has already bonded with this person, and you're in this situation where all those chemicals are now gone, and you really do have this emotional process where you've created such a connection with someone, and now it's just completely torn away. And as I thought about that whole train of thought, and I realized that you are actually not supposed to love anybody else in the same way. And what this means is that in your future relationships, what really the learning and growth lesson is here, after you've gone through this pain with all this other with this other person, you're really supposed to actually learn how to love yourself more by, I guess in a way, changing your criteria of who you're willing to love, and allow yourself only to love people that are willing to reciprocate the same amount of positivity and love that they have for you. If you are fully committed to yourself and your own happiness in life, then what you will do is you will start to filter new criteria for people. The thing is that you've allowed yourself to love somebody that wasn't really being the best person for you. But the key phrases in that is that you allowed yourself to do that. And so long as you continue to have the same criteria for other people, you're going to keep feeling like that person is the only one that met that criteria. But if you change that criteria and you say, today I'm going to take a stand and I'm not going to let anybody else treat me like that, I'm only going to be with someone else that truly loves me, then you're going to open up a door where you're changing who you're going to allow yourself to love. And then all of a sudden, that person that you loved previously is no longer qualified for you to have those feelings for. And because they're no longer qualified for you to have those feelings for, then you're not going to have that feeling anymore of feeling like that's the person that you're only going to love as much. And the more that I thought about this question, I was really thinking about me and my ex-girlfriend. I thought about how I let her treat me really any way she wanted, especially, towards the end when it was getting really toxic, And I let that happen and go on too long. And I realized as time went on that I have slowly shifted my criteria, where I no longer really get affected as much by what she does. And it's a slow moving process to change your criteria. But now I've hung out with other people that have been really kind to me, that have done very nice things for me, that have, for example, made me dinner when my ex never made me dinner, that were kind to me, that bought me random gifts and sent me random things, that just went out of their way to treat me really well and really positively. And that was something that I had never had previously. So I used to really feel like I was really struggling with the exact same feeling you're having. But the more that my criteria has shifted and I've decided to treat myself better and only allow myself to love other people that want to love me the same way that I want to love them, then those people have become a greater priority in my life. And as that shift continues to happen day by day, slowly, a little bit at a time, the more I am getting to know other people that treat me with that love, and my love starts shifting towards these other people. And eventually over time, you will get to that point where in a way, your criteria has shifted so much that you will find that other person. And not only will that other person be a healthier relationship if you're shifting your criteria towards something better, but you will be much happier being in a relationship with someone that wants to be in a relationship with you because of who you are, not because they want to control you. The previous relationship was something that in a way really wasn't real, because it wasn't meant to be a relationship based on compatibility. It was a relationship meant to be based upon control. Also, I do want to leave you with this, which is a thought that I've been having a lot about the concept of love. And love has a very strong cultural association with the idea of having strong emotions and bonding feelings for someone. And essentially what that does is, in a way, it also sets you up, I guess, kind of to fail long term, because the honeymoon phase, right, goes away after a couple of years of being with someone. And those really strong bonding chemicals that are a natural bonding process that are, good and healthy for the bonding of a relationship, they're good, But if you are constantly basing the fact of whether or not you love someone off those chemicals, you're going to, in a way, just set yourself up to fail. When, in my opinion, the real concept of love is taking that other person as a part of yourself. And what I mean by that is that if you are putting yourself first in life, you will do everything that is best for you as a person. And if you are taking them as a part of yourself, you will treat them with the same love that you're treating yourself. If, for example, let's throw in an opposite example, right? There were many times with my ex-girlfriend that I wanted to do something that I cared about, and she would try to find ways to pit me against that, or to ask me weird questions in such a way to like make me not be encouraged. Or like if I had, for example, these really awesome dreams about like YouTube and stuff, for example, one time she said that she thought YouTubers were like dumb and bad people and whatnot, and she just had ways of trying to pit me against the things that I really loved and cared about. And that was an example of somebody not taking she was not taking the things that would make me happiest as her own. She was trying to pit me against that, for her own reasons, whatever they were. So now let's flip it to the opposite example of what is taking something as a part of yourself. Take, for example, like a random act of kindness. Why do you do a random act of kindness? It's because you just want to love somebody. You want to make them happy. And that is you taking them as a part of yourself, because then their happiness is also your happiness. I'm sure if you have children, or whoever's watching this that has children, you've seen your children and you want your children to be happy, because seeing your children happy makes you happy. That's you taking them as a part of yourself. I'm making these videos for you guys because I'm taking you as a part of myself, and I want you to be happy. So I'm going through these things because I also want to make you happy, and it makes me happy to make you happy and help you out in your life. There's some people that, for example, are really passionate about their car. They love their car, so they keep it clean, they keep it waxed, they do everything they can because they've taken it as a part of themselves, and keeping that thing well makes them happy. So this love concept is also really important to understand, because that also gives you full control and full ability to love somebody at your discretion at any given time, because you are always in full power and full control of when you are choosing to take something as a part of yourself. Which it would be totally awesome if it was all the time, right? But sometimes maybe that's just not feasible in certain situations. But in reality, if you meet someone and you decide that you can be compatible with them long term, you can always take their happiness as a part of your happiness. And you can also do it for strangers and things that you care about. And that is long-term love. That is when people say, when they got married to their best friend, the honeymoon emotions are gone, but they've taken their best friend as a part of themselves. Like I take my, my homeboys or my homies or whatnot as a part of myself. I want them to be happy. One of my friends is a photographer. When he posts an awesome picture, I get hyped for him and I'm happy for him, because I've taken his happiness as a part of myself. So you can always do that at your discretion, no matter what it is and who it is. And you can always choose to take that other person as a part of yourself. So awesome, that does it for this video. I'm really happy you asked that, because it's something that I was struggling with too. And having you ask that really helped me put things into perspective for myself, to understand what I've been going through and to understand what I needed to understand about, I guess in a way, the logical process of why we feel like we will never love somebody else the same and what to do about it. And you know what? Maybe loving that person at the time was awesome because you got to feel those emotions inside of you. And I don't regret feeling those positive emotions that I felt for my ex-girlfriend. In a way, I still love her because I still take her happiness as a part of mine. And I do want her to be happy and healthy. But I'm just not going to allow myself to continue to have those crazy bonding chemicals with her, because I've shifted my criteria for other people that I can be more compatible with long term. So that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit subscribe. Thank you so much for asking that.